3406.
Hi. Today we're going to see the radio that TD Radio was kind enough to send me, the TD-H3. So let's see what's in the box. Okay. We have a user manual, a pretty extensive one from what I saw before. It has a lot of pages to read, which is good in this case. Also, from what I saw, it has a lot of explanatory images, like back here, the menu options. Okay. A card with TD Radio support, contact information. Hope we're not going to need that one. Okay, charging cable and charger. We'll talk about this in a while. Okay, antenna. Okay, flexible one. Interesting. Also, good choice. Okay, that's the belt clip with screws. I'm going to put them later on. Okay, this is the radio. Let's see. Right, it looks small enough. Interesting. I don't have big hands, so this fits quite nice, I have to say. And here we have FCC ID for our American friends, which most of the times go crazy with the FCC, from what I read in Facebook groups and others. And I'm sorry to say that, but they have to remember that not all the planet is in US, and we don't care about FCC much, but okay, we have our authorities to check things. Anyway, it's good to have this certification. And of course the battery, which is a 7.4 volt battery. Okay, now it's more visible. So it's a 2500 milliamperes, 7.4 volts, model BP3. Okay. So let's put that on. Now, before I put this on, this shape is kind of familiar, I would say. It doesn't look like the classic handheld batteries that we have in other companies. Also, there's a USB charging port. I'm going to talk about this later, a USB-C charging port. But this shape looks kind of familiar, and I'd like to show you something about this. I think it's a good choice by TD Radio because it seems to me that inside here we have two 18650 batteries, which is a common type. And I have one here. As you can see, it's exactly like, it seems exactly that it fits in here and another one here. So that's a very good and interesting thing for people that like to take things apart. A good choice, an interesting choice by TD Radio. Okay, so this is in, right, and the antenna.
Welcome.
Okay, we have the voice in English. And you can see the screen here. It's a color screen.
Menu.
Okay, let's check the menu for a while. Okay. Arrow wide,
Confirm.
squelch, TX power, power save, step, backlight, how long the screen is going to be on. Let's put it at continuous for a moment. Beep. Vox level. Okay, TOT. With RxDCS, RxTCCSS. Yes, common choices in handheld radios. Okay, so this is in dual mode if I want to display name or frequency.
Confirm.
Offset, memories, alarm mode. Oh, I don't want to broadcast that anywhere.
Confirm.
Roger.
Confirm.
Oh, here's the version of the firmware that's inside this radio. Another good point in TID radio is in this model, in H3, that it's firmware upgradable. Very interesting fact. I hope other manufacturers also get this and start doing it to their models because they have to fix things. Some things don't work as intended, and people want more always. So it's a good option to have. We're going to see later an upgrade to this firmware because there's a new one out. Briefing LED, that's the LED up here. When the screen is off, it shows you that the radio is operating by making a blink every some seconds that you select here.
Menu.
Power on message, mic gain. Oh, another interesting option in the menu. Some radios tend to be quite low when you speak, and having an option to adjust that is very interesting. Scramble, this is illegal in some countries, most countries, but okay, it's an option to have, very good. AM band. And we're back to the beginning. Okay. Now, I have done some reading about this. It comes in 3 versions. Actually, if I remember correctly, it comes in 3 versions and 3 colors, which is black, bright yellow, and a transparent one, which is also very interesting. Now, there are also 3 versions that are sold, but essentially they are the same. It's an unlocked radio with all frequencies. It receives airband. There is also a version with a GMRS. Frequencies are locked to GMRS frequencies, and also a ham band radio. So let's see how you can change that. You have to press PTT here. Let me use the other hand. Star. When the radio is off, the star button, and turn the radio on. And there you have it. There's going to be a menu. Which says 1 ham, 2 GMRS, and 3 normal. 3 normal obviously is unlocked. to all frequencies. GMRS and 3. So when you select one of these options, let me choose 3 here for experimenting. It asks you to confirm because it's going to delete all data that's stored in the radio. And you can press yes by the blue or no but by the star button. So let's press yes.
Low voltage.
Okay. So it has rebooted, cleared everything of the radio, and now it's in normal mode of operation with all frequencies unlocked. Another interesting thing here is that it has 2 PTT buttons, PTT1 and PTT2. I like that to radios. It's kind of handy. I always have two frequencies here and use dual watch mode. There are a lot of people to talk to and repeaters to watch, so for me it's handy to have 2 PTT buttons. Not many radios have this, and it's very easy not having to switch between one another. So I'll set up this radio, put some frequencies inside, and I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I'm back. I have checked some things in the radio just to know my way around. It has a lot of features, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm trying to keep it short so it's easier for you to watch. But still, there are so many things in here to see that are worth mentioning. The most important that I forgot to say before is that it has 2 USB-C ports. One is on the battery for charging. Here we put the USB-C plug, and there's the indicator light that the battery is charging. No strange cables, no I have to carry a charging base to put it in, just a USB-C cable, the common USB-C cable that we charge pretty much everything now. Another pretty good example of good design here. So, and the other thing is, let me open here the connectors, is here. Here you see the standard Kenwood plug, 3.5 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters audio plugs, the standard K1 Kenwood connector that most of these type of radios use, but a USB-C port also. This is not for charging. This is the interesting part because you don't need any special cable or a Kenwood plug cable with FTDI support, strange drivers for Windows, or anything else to make communication between your radio and the PC. You just need a simple USB-C cable. So from what I understand, TEED Radio took all the circuits and what is needed for the communication between the PC and the radio and put it inside the radio. So we just need a USB-C cable. And if I connect it here, you heard my PC saying that something is connected. Now, let's see how these things communicate. Okay, so I have connected the radio to my PC and we can see a firmware upgrade and the communication and uploading channels with chip. Here are some features that the TDH3 has. As you can see, AM aviation band receiving, NOAA weather reception, cross-band receiving transmitting, 199 channels, 3 options for power, for transmitting power, and all these frequencies. Here are the receiving frequencies, here are the transmitting frequencies, I'm sure you can find all these things online and in their site. I'll put links in the description so you can check them in their website for yourselves. Okay, so I'll start with a firmware upgrade and hope that it goes well. There is a firmware upgrade and instructions in TID Radio's website. It's pretty simple, actually. We're going to see it in action here. Okay, that's the program for the firmware update. It's TDH3 DAS IAP. So I'm going to turn off the radio here and open the latest firmware file that I found in their website. These are the instructions. You open the file first, you press start, and now you just hold the PTT button and open the radio. And as we can see here, the firmware is uploading. That was it. Pretty simple. Okay, now let's check the menu. Okay, here it is, version 24.06.25. That's the version that I uploaded from my PC. Okay, perfect. Now, let's see communication with Chirp and uploading channels and memories. I'll just do a quick restart of the radio. Okay, so I have my list here with channels that I use, and I pass to pretty much every of my radio. And as you can see, there are also all of the other options that you can change here from Chirp. FM radio, DTMF, if you use this kind of thing. I don't at the moment. And here are more things that can be shown in Chirp. So, uploading to the radio, to TDH3. As I said before, since we have the connection with USB-C port, we don't need the Kenwood plug. It emulates a COM port in the PC. All the hardware needed is in here in the radio. You don't have to have any extra or strange cables. And we go upload to radio. Here is our connection to the radio. COM5, TID radio, TDH3. And there it is. Configuration uploaded. Okay, so I'm just gonna change the screen here, the screen backlight, so it will be continuously on for this video. Perfect, and I have some of my frequencies. Now it's set to PMR frequencies for a test. Okay, I'll put it in channel 16, which I know that is not used at the moment. I can unplug the USB-C cable now. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. And here we see the radio receiving, the green light is on, and an arrow here indicating that it's receiving in this channel. Off here on the screen, because I saw that as a question somewhere, is that it doesn't have any DCS or TCSS code set in this channel. And here we're in standby mode again. So I'm just going to put a buffering down here and talk from the TID radio. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. Pretty clear voice. Sierra Yankee and Echo Bravo Echo, test 1, 2, 3. Okay. From what I see here also, up here we have the transmit level, the transmit power indicator, and I can press here. See, it goes all the way to 5 because I have it in high mode. You can see that also here in H and narrowband. I can change that from the menu. Okay, let's put transmit power to low, as it should be in PMR, and test that again. Okay, so now you see it goes up to 2.5 maybe. I don't know what scale this is. I guess it's watts. It's configured to this radio, obviously. I don't have a meter to check it. I suppose it should be around 4.5, 4.8 watts at the maximum, which is enough and doesn't make any difference if it's 4.8 or 5 watts. So I guess the low power is about 2.2 to 2.2 watts maybe, from what I see here at the indicator. Okay. Very nice. And also, another thing you can do with this is that it has built-in Bluetooth. You don't use it for audio, but you can use it to program this radio on the go. Now, if I keep pressing the menu button, you will see a Bluetooth signal here, which means that Bluetooth is active. You can use this. I'm not going to do this now. There are a lot of videos with instructions online, but the TID radio has an application, Oddmaster, which is what we're all missing in our smartphones. An application that you can program your radio on the go when you don't have access to your PC. Let's say that you have you're on vacation, or you're in the woods going somewhere, and you have to change something, a repeater. You caught a new repeater. You have to program it in your memory. You can't do it without a PC easily. You can do it from the menu, but it's always easier to do things with a smartphone these days. So there is Oddmaster, which you can connect from your smartphone to this radio and change all the options, add memories, and upload them back here on the go. Now I'm going to turn the Bluetooth off and just keep pressing the menu, and it's off. Okay, I thought I'd do a test in the open, just to show some things for the TDH3, the TID radio, which I found quite interesting. So here we have my view from my balcony. I think it's nice. I'm on an island, Skiathos Island. well, not really anywhere close to Ham civilization, but we can give it a shot. So let's see what we have here. Okay, as you can see, I have three radios, Baofeng, Quansheng and TID radio TDH3, which kind of impressed me because besides the other things that I mentioned in my video, like the USB-C port charging and connecting to the PC, it also has pretty good reception. I was impressed because it has better reception than the others. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, here is a repeater I have connected to my dipole antenna. It's not a fancy antenna, it's one I made my own. I'm in Skiathos. This repeater that we hear now is in Athens. Is on Penteli Mountain, 100.28 kilometers from here. 128 kilometers. That is about 79 to 80 miles from here. Of course, we have the sea, which is a good thing for reception, but you can see I can hear them clearly. They can't hear me, I'm too far away for that with my antenna, but I can hear them pretty clear. Just a bit of static with the TID radio H3, TDH3. Now, I will disconnect the antenna from here and connect it to Quansheng, which you can see that it receives, but with many interruptions. So I can hear them, the interruptions are a lot. The voice breaks up every time. It's like it takes a lot of power in and can't handle it or something like that. I don't know why this happens. So I'm going to disconnect it here also and put it on the Baofeng, which is also tuned in the same repeater, but we can't hear anything. Just reboot it. Nothing. Okay, so I'll put it back to the TID radio TDH3, and here we go. We hear the repeater clearly again. With 2 lines out of 5, I think, 5 or 4. It's pretty impressive, okay? Yeah, I have to say that. Okay, and from this repeater that I'm listening in Athens, now I'm going to test an airband. I'm going to listen to the... Okay, sorry, I have to put the volume down here. Okay, so I'm going to put it... I'm still connected with my dipole, which is not... as I said before, it's not a very fancy antenna. It's one I made myself. Pretty simple. I'm in Skiathos Island. Athens International Airport is obviously in Athens. 141 kilometers from here. I think it's about, let me see how many miles. Yes, it's 87 miles from here. And let's see if we can hear traffic control arrivals and departures.
Left heading 080, go straight kilo 0.
This is Athens arrivals in Athens International Airport.
320, gate 40.
Sounds pretty clear.
Good day, Scandinavian 68 Roman, level 225, descending 180, inbound Nevra. We have information index QNH1010. We are ready for any direction.
Okay, let's see departures. No traffic at the moment, maybe. That's Athens direction control. Yeah, that's a local airport, but we can't hear anything now because there's no traffic. that's it. I mean, okay, let me focus somewhere else. So overall, this looks like a daily driver radio. I mean, it's small enough to slip it in your pocket.
29675.
A lot of milliamperes to have with you. The battery pack is perfect to make you at least one day, maybe two. Very good reception from my really silly tests, but you know, sometimes these silly tests show the real conditions. I mean, I'm on an island. I'm on Skiathos Island. What I received was 128 kilometers away from a repeater that I usually do not receive. I couldn't send, but okay, it's a 5-watt radio and it can't transmit that far. But receiving is also important. It's very, very interesting. Hearing Athens International Airport, again 140 kilometers away from me, pretty clear. Arrivals, departures, and all other stuff. I'm quite impressed. I'm really happy that I got my hands on this radio. Thank you all for listening. Follow and subscribe if you like my videos, and see you soon.